get in line. Now, here's what's going on. I got to my left, DJ AA Aaron. Let me hear you say, what's up? And we've got here the prophet Elijah. Everyone say, yo, yo, yo. All right. Welcome to Bible Station. Now, today is a very special day because I, SVP Diddy, am going to lay down my newest track. This is a song that's bound to become famous. You'll hear it on the radio wherever you go. Are you ready? Today, I'm not just going to lay down the track. I'm going to tell you what gives an artist like me the motivation to write a song like this. And I get motivated from the story of the Bible. How many of you remember from yesterday the prophet Elijah? Yeah! Many of you remember what happened? There was a showdown of epic proportions. The prophet Elijah versus all the prophets of Baal. They each built an altar. And maybe you remember what happened. The prophets of Baal called out to their God, and nothing happened. But when Elijah said a simple prayer, how did God show he was real? Do you remember? The fire fell from heaven and lit the altar up. It was amazing. It was a miracle. It was like something no one had ever seen before. Now, how many of you think as soon as everyone saw the fire from heaven fall down after Elijah prayed, that immediately everyone finally believed that God was real? That's what I would have thought too. But do you know what? Even though people saw that miracle and they saw all the power, guess what? They still didn't love God. They still didn't believe and put their faith in God. So you know what happened to the prophet Elijah? The prophet Elijah got so frustrated. In fact, the prophet Elijah got mad and sad. And the prophet Elijah got so sad that he decided to run away. He just took off. In fact, he ran away right out into the desert. There was no water out there. There was no food. The sun was beating down on him, but he didn't care. He kept going and going and going until he was finally so exhausted. There was a certain kind of tree there called a broom tree. Do you see it? And right there under the broom tree, the prophet Elijah laid down. And you know what the prophet Elijah did? He said a prayer. Dear God, please just let me die. They'll never believe in you. And you want to know what happened to the prophet Elijah?
What? He died.
God loved the prophet Elijah so much that God sent an angel. Hello, angel. And you know what the angel did? She went over and she made a meal for the prophet Elijah. The angel made bread over hot coals. And the angel poured water in a jar. And when the meal was ready, guess what? The angel woke Elijah up and said, here, eat this. And here, drink this. You've got to be revived and you've got to be refreshed because I'm going to send you on a journey. And when the prophet Elijah was feeling better, the angel said, you need to travel to Mount Sinai. And so Elijah, strengthened by the meal, got up and started making the long journey to Mount Sinai. Now, maybe some of you don't remember Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai was the place where God first met his people. And he gave them his word and he told them how much he loved them. So when Elijah made it to Mount Sinai, he thought, okay, God, now I really want to see you. Do you know what God did? He said, Elijah, over there's a cave. I want you to go in it. And when Elijah was in the cave, God took his hand and covered the opening of the cave when he was about to pass by. First, there was the sound of a violent wind. And after the sound of the violent wind, there was a mighty earthquake that shook the rocks. know something? Wind is very powerful, and earthquakes are very mighty and powerful, and fire is very powerful. But God wasn't in the wind. God wasn't in the earthquake. God wasn't in the fire. What Elijah heard next was amazing. There was a quiet whisper of God's presence. And as soon as Elijah heard the whisper, he knew. You see, he came out of the cave and he realized sometimes when you're lonely or life's difficult and you're crying out for a miracle, God doesn't always show up in the most powerful things. Sometimes he shows up with a simple meal. And sometimes with just a quiet whisper that heals your soul. And you know what? I love this story because it helps me remember that God has the amazing power to heal. Oh. What? Were you guys born in a barn? We're not on a farm. We're here in the city at my studio. I know. Now, don't tell Miss Karen I told you to do this. But later when Miss Karen says, God has the power to heal, I want you to say, hold on, peeps! Should we practice? All right, I'll pretend I'm Miss Karen. Ready? God has the power to heal. All right, now don't tell her I told you to say that. All right, are you ready? Now, here's the thing. That Bible story is what gives me the motivation to write music. And I think I'm ready, with your help, to debut for the first time my new song. You ready for its name? Yeah. You ready to listen? Yeah. It's called God's Gonna Pick You Up. Are you ready? Here we go. All right, 16 everyone. Elijah, the prophet, who's altered the firelight. The prophet, our hero, reduced faith to zero. Now crying, dying, run away through the desert. Lays down under a roof tree to keep the body so distant. It's too hot and touch. Call God and an angel man. It's too hot and touch. From our retirement. Too hot and touch. God is yours, that's why he ran. Too hot and touch. Am I sad that he's run break down? God whispers hallelujah. God whispers hallelujah. God whispers hallelujah. Sometimes life's gonna give it to you. And sometimes life's gonna give it to you. Sometimes life's gonna give it to you. But sometimes he's giving it on. But just watch. Don't believe it, 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 just watch. Hey, 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 stop. Wait a minute. God shows up. His angels with it. Big bread, miracles, water in a jar. Eat up, drink down, drop it, be refreshed. Cyanide's hand, gotta keep on going. Smooth it in a fresh jar, skip it. He's too hot and touch. Call for God and an angel. And touch. And from our retirement. Too hot and touch. Am I sad that he's run break down? God whispers hallelujah. God whispers hallelujah. You know what our motivation is? Our motivation is really simple. We just want people to know when you're lonely or stressed or worn out. It might not be in the big things, but just remember this. God's got the power to heal. All right, don't forget that. Now,